All right, Coach, go ahead with an opening statement, then we'll open it up for questions.
Okay. Clemson's got a very, very good basketball team. They're very tough-minded on defense and offense. They have a tough-mindedness about themselves to not only defend you, but come down and run their offense and get the shots that they want, and they make them. They're very good at executing. They're very good defensively on the ball. They're very physical. We couldn't screen, not only just lateral screens, but even ball screens. We had a hard time because they were so physical. I thought Hemingway had a great game. He took advantage of the backside help. He was the weak side skip a lot of times, and we had to give backside help on Sims. We couldn't play him one-on-one in the post, which we did a decent job on him. But Hemingway was he got the recipient of the skip passes, and he's got length and size. He got it off quick, made some shots. So I think Sims and Honor, they're really good players. And when we got stopped, when we did get stops, I thought that Clemson was really good in defensive transition. They've had some really great wins. Non-conference, they beat Purdue, they beat Bama. They had won 4 out of 5, I think, before they hit COVID. They probably were a little tired today at times. That's probably why Brad used some of those timeouts, but they do have a lot of depth. And I think they have a really good basketball team. I thought today we showed a little more toughness and urgency on defense than what we did the last couple games. There was definitely some fight there. But we just had some breakdowns. We did a poor job of hedging. We were hedging the ball screen today with the 5, and the ball was still turning the corner. When you hedge a ball screen, one of 3 things got to happen. Either the guard's got to dribble towards half court, he's got to pick up his dribble, or he's got to run over you. Most of the time, Honor, Trap, those guys were just getting or beating the hedge, and that made it hard on us. Guards were behind the play a lot defensively. They're physical. They set really physical screens, and you could tell in the maturity of their bodies. Offensively, guys, no way we're going to win shooting 25% from the field. I thought we missed a ton of open shots, especially early. We got a lot of shots at the rim. We just didn't finish. And that, is deflating to your team when you get good shots and then you can't make them. I thought we got a lot of open threes, too. We had some possessions where they got us. They guarded us well. But we had some possessions where we got wide open looks and we just couldn't finish. And when that happens, it's tough to win. We didn't get anything on the offensive glass either. I think we only had 3, and then really, only had 5 guys score. And so it's really tough day when you can't score the ball against a team like that who's going to come down and grind out possessions on you. And there's not going to be a lot of possessions against him. So you got to take advantage of the open shots that you get. I'll open it up for questions.
What's your level of concern at this point with maybe exhaustion of your team or fatigue?
Yeah, we're probably tired, but we're not going to use that as an excuse. I thought the kids played really hard for the most part. They competed. You got a little down a couple times, but they came right back. We had a chance in the second half. We were down 15 at half. I think we had a chance to cut it to 8 at one time. We didn't get 2 offensive rebounds, and they made a 3. I have backed off in practice this week. I haven't gone as long or as hard, and I'll probably do that the rest of the way out because I think, Connor, we are wearing down. But that's part of it, man. And that's the hard part about being in a great league. You got to keep, the next game's not any easier. You got to go to Virginia Tech, and they play the same way and just as tough and really good on offense, maybe better on offense than Clemson. So it's a concern, but we got to find a way to fight through it. We tried to play a lot of guys, and I don't know what we play. We played 11 or so. I gave everybody pretty much a shot, but at the end of the day, we just got to make some shots, man. And we're, as you guys have seen, we're pretty good. We can be in games when we make shots. When we don't, we're not good. We're just not strong enough defensively to go down and just shut teams out. We had some moments today, and we got better defensively than we did the last couple games, but we had to make some shots, and we just didn't.
Steve, I know missing open shots are their own thing, but as far as the screening part you were talking about, how much does that play into I guess some of the shots that you guys are having to take that's resulting in a lower shooting percentage.
I mean, I think that happens. That happened to them. You know, it's just part of the game. You know, there was some shots that they took that weren't great shots too, and they made a couple of them. They missed them. You know, I mean, I think it's just a matter of just maturity, you know, and getting bigger and stronger, and being able to hold your screen. You know, we just don't. We're not. You know, we're just not a big physical team, and they are. And they just really, you know, got us off our spot. And what happens too sometimes, Ethan, is when you get tired and when you're not making shots, you stop cutting and you stop reversing the ball. And that's when you do get bad shots. And I thought every time we got the ball moving, you know, we got really some pretty good looks. And, you know, that's just a matter of, I think, some experience and just being tough minded. And there's all kinds of toughness in basketball. And that's one area of toughness is being tough minded on offense to continue to execute to get a good shot, which I thought Clemson did a great job of.
Steve, your team didn't turn the ball over much tonight, just 10 turnovers. I know that's some silver lining. It's just they forced you into tough shots, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they did. They're good. They don't gamble. You know, they're not a gambling type defense. They like to keep body on body. They like to keep people in front of you, so you're going to have to make some shots, and sometimes you're going to have to make contested shots. And we just weren't able to do it. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to go back through the tape in the first half, especially, and see a lot of shots at the rim that we didn't. We either fumbled the ball or we just didn't make. Now, you know, when you have low possessions, again, it's not a high possession game, then you have to make those. And we didn't. And we got some really good looks at it. So it's not for a lack of trying. It's not for a lack of competing. It's just from a lack of finishing, which we just didn't do at a high level today.
Steve, but I'm not sure if you saw before tip off, but the governor ruled you're going to be allowed to have fans at 15% capacity for the final home game, even if it's just one game. What do you imagine that'll be like to have fans other than family and personal friends in the building?
I think it'd be great for our players, you know, for one game to have, you know, whoever's there, fans, students, you know, our fans in the building. I think it would help. You know, we're going to play a really good team that I saw last night handle Virginia Tech very easily. Georgia Tech, which I'm not sure they're getting enough love when it comes to the NCAA tournament. I mean, I've watched them a lot. I think they're pretty darn good. And so that'll be a hard game. But yeah, I think it would be great, you know, to have people here at Lawrence Joel that support us. And I think there's people that would want to come, and I'm sure our guys would like to see that, especially on senior day.
Steve, it seems like the message you want to give the team, or maybe you've already given it to them, is that they did play hard and they competed. Does that become harder to get across to them after a game like this where the score is what it is?
Yeah, I mean, but you know, now's not the time to beat them up. You know, it's not like they weren't out there trying and you know, trying to do what we ask them to do. But you know, it's again, I know I'm repeating myself, but you got to do all five. You know, and you have to, were we always sharing the ball? You know, a lot of that comes, I don't think sharing the ball comes down sometimes to selfishness. I think it comes down to what the other team's doing to you too. And you know, they make it hard for you. You know, were we always tough on defense every possession? Probably not, but we got better. You know, we got some rebounds, but we got beat pretty good on the glass. You know, but you know, they got a lot of defensive rebounds because we didn't make any shots. You know, we didn't get any offensive rebounds. They got 8 second chance points. So it's 14-2 though, you know, and then, you know, execution, you know, we ran a lot more sets today, guys, than we've run in a long time, just trying to manufacture a look against that defense. And, you know, we got some and some we didn't. Some we panicked a little bit, but for the most part, I'm not going to fault our kids' effort today.
Steve, I know we've talked about just the mentality portion of this season. Seems like every week, but you know, you're three losses and you've got 3 games left. And I wonder, does mentality become something you zero in more on for this team to try to make sure they're staying good?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Really the X's and O's they are what they are right now as far as offense. The plays. We're not going to put in a bunch of new plays, and so I think it's more working on the mental part of it for them to stay competitive. They will, because they're going to be a reflection of me, and I'm going to be competitive, and they're going to be competitive. I'm not really worried about that. I think sometimes in the game you get a little deflated, and you work so hard to get a good shot, and then it doesn't go in. It's tough, and you got to go down and you got to guard them a long time, and they're tough and physical, and they got some experienced players, and I think they got some good players. I think they're an NCAA tournament team from what I've seen. I mean, I'm not on the committee, but just what I've seen in our league, they're a pretty good team. They're an upper echelon team in our league, just based on their size, their toughness, their execution, and their ability to make shots.
Steve, what do you think progress looks like in these last 3 games? Like, what would be the thing that you would
You
circle?
guys continue to ask me that question over and over, and I continue to answer it with identity. And I'm not going to change. I'm not going to put a how many games we're going to win or lose. It doesn't matter. We just got to continue to get better. So, you can keep asking me that, but I'm going to tell you again, we need to share the ball. We need to play hard, smart together. We need to be tougher on defense. We need to grab those balls with 2 hands, and we need to execute. That's what it's going to be, and I'm not going to change.
Well, Coach, do you think the belief in, realizing that identity just in the locker room has dropped a bit since the Florida State game, or do you think that you can still galvanize the guys for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I know I can, and I'm pretty sure that the players will do the same thing.
All right, that'll wrap. Guys, we have Isaiah Musius here. Opening up for questions.
Isaiah, what was the issue? Just falling behind early and never able to catch up. Like, what did it feel like out there to you?
I think we were getting a bunch of open looks, like offensively. We were getting shots, but they just weren't falling. They weren't hitting tonight. I mean, we shot about, I think it was like 25% from the field. And that's on us. We gotta make shots. I think we got a lot of open looks in the offense, and I think we gotta hit them. I mean, they only scored 60 points. We played a little bit better defensively. A couple lapses, but I think defensively our effort was a little bit better than the last 2 games. But just gotta hit shots. In ACC you gotta make shots to win the game. So you can't just play defense and then not hit shots. You gotta hit shots. So we gotta go into the next game confident in ourselves. Offensively, but also just more connected defensively as well.
This might become apparent at some point in the next day when you guys watch the film, but is there anything you can put your finger on as to why there were so many missed shots?
No, I mean, we got the open looks. Deuce shots that they shot before. Just wasn't falling tonight. Today's a day where, shots weren't falling. So just got to get back in the gym, get more confidence in yourself. Because I think when you see a lot of shots like that miss, Deuce have to lose confidence in herself. So got to continue as a leader to just feed that confidence into guys, because all these guys have had games where they've hit multiple 3-point shots, have had multiple layups. They've had games where they've played at the high level that I know they can. So I just got to do a better job of instilling that confidence in every guy when they might miss 2 or 3. Just be like, yo, that third one is going to go in. So I got to do better of that throughout the entire team, not only for myself but through 1 through 15.
I know the other team played at exactly the same time. Does a 4:30 tip-off seem weird to you guys as a player?
No, I mean, this is the first time, actually me and Miles were kind of talking about it, was the first time we ever played at 4:30 during the week since I've been here at Wake Forest. But I mean, basketball is basketball. If we had to wake up at 5 in the morning, which we used to for practice last year, you're going to roll the balls out and just play basketball. So, we just came out and played like it was a regular day, played like it was a regular game. So I don't really think it really affected us too much.
Zay, do you ever get frustrated when it seems like you're the main source of energy for the team? Do you ever feel like your teammates need to up their energy level on the bench and just with the way they're playing?
No, I mean, that's what I do. I mean, when I first came here at Wake Forest, everybody knew I was the guy who was just high on energy and always made sure I try to bring as much energy to the team. So that's my job when dudes, feel like they're tired or, they're down, I try to give them that energy so they can feed it right back to me. So, I never really get upset. I'm always the guy that's like, yo, let's go. I'm going to keep going, keep fighting. I know everybody's tired, but, we got to keep fighting. So, we just got to continue to do that. And I got to continue to give guys energy. But when they get that energy, they just got to keep going and fighting through everything. So, I just try to feed that energy to everybody else so they can bounce it through the whole team.
Isaiah, what have been the positives that you've taken out of these last 3 games? Just from what you've seen from teammates or maybe what you've seen from yourself?
I mean, for my team, I think we just, we're tired and we're fighting. At times, we have to gel together. So I think from the last 2 games to this game, I think defensively we got a little bit better with the scouting report and making sure that, we're zoned into how we play ball screen and stuff like that. For myself, I'm just trying to make sure every single day I'm better than the last on the defensive end mostly. I try to challenge myself defensively to, guard the guards and make sure I'm being more physical when I'm down there on the post. And then this offensive letting the game come to me, knowing that, I'm going to move the ball and run the offense and make sure when I get the shots, I shoot more confident. So, just from my game, I just want to take it to the next level defensively. I think that's going to, give guys energy on the court. Just if I get a 50-50 ball or if I get a steal or if I get a charge or block, that gives energy to the team. And I think I'm going to continue to do that. And I'll let my offense come. Like, I know offensively I can make shots, but I really want to just hone in on my defense side of basketball for myself.
Isaiah, we talked on Saturday about being mentally fatigued through what this season has put you guys through. Have you reflected on that at all in the last few days, and especially with this game today?
For sure. I mean, I actually personally just had a conversation with my cousin for about maybe 2 to 3 hours, just about how COVID has changed a lot of people just mentally, like how they think about life, how life was before, and just how people think differently, and just how mentally tired a lot of people are, and just not basketball wise, but in the country. I can tell probably all you guys are mentally fatigued, just like not being able to sit here and talk to us players, and I could tell my mom and dad are mentally tired. Everybody in the world is mentally tired of what we've been going through. So it definitely takes a part, but you got to move on to the next day. Some people aren't able to make it to the next day, and you have to be faithful and thankful that you are able to wake up the next morning. So everybody's mentally tired, but you got to fight through, and people that fight through are the people that are really successful in life.
Zay is one of the leaders or the leader on the team. What is your message to the team moving forward as you try to bounce back?
To stay together, man. It's tough when things get hard. In any aspect of life, like it's hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And we just gotta stay together. When you're losing, you start to get into your own mind and try to figure out what you've done wrong, and you're just like, man, could I have done this? Could I do that? But I try to tell the guys, yo, we gotta stay together and just like we gotta whatever we say about in the locker room, we gotta put it out on the floor. We gotta play harder. We gotta do what we know best and just give 100% effort, win, lose, or draw. We gotta give 100% effort and know when we left that court that team was like, yo, they came out swinging and we had to battle for that win. So that's the mentality that I just gotta tell guys, and we gotta go through with every single game, moving forward for the rest of the season.
All right. Thanks, Isaiah.
Of course.